Hey, what's up, anybody listening in right now? Go ahead and look at the show notes. Not the show notes, I'm sorry. The comments in the YouTube section to say when you should start it, because we are prepping right now. This is off the cuff, unscripted stuff. So it's going to be boring for you just sitting there listening. It's going to be a lot of dead air. It's usually a couple minutes for us to set up. If you want, go ahead and read the comments to see where I said this is the time that you should start listening.
But I should be feeling nothing. Is that so?
What up, guys?
You get those Star Wars tickets, Dylan?
No.
They went on sale just now.
Yeah, you can get them.
Okay, sure you can.
I did the last two Star Wars movies.
Sure. It's a 20-minute queue, and the entire cinema was sold out.
What?
It was I had to wait in a 20-minute queue to get the tickets, and all the seats were sold.
Right now?
Yep.
Oh, well, that's stupid because it's gonna air 4 times at like 10 different screens in every theater in San Diego. So you will be able to find seats the night of, like I did. But
Maybe.
I probably won't do the night of. I'll probably get it. Anyway, let's get started. Chat. Pathetic. I just treated. How are you, Christina?
Oh, I'm fine.
Are you still mad
How
at
are
me?
you? I was never mad at you. I just made my stance clear. So
Which stance?
that if somebody needs to is not available, then we don't need to be going all kinds of crazy to try and make it all work out. Let's just do it when we can do it. And this is perfect. Look, we're all here. We're happy. We're healthy.
You hear her cadence of her voice up and down like a freaking roller coaster?
It's just the way she talks.
It is. We can just do it when we do it, and we don't have to. No one does it. I think that's her condescending voice. I think that's what that is.
I got the new Apple TV. It's fucking sick.
Is it?
Get it some medicine then.
Oh, gosh.
We have seen 128 episodes of 20. Welcome to the Legacy of 24. I'm Dylan Shuck, and I've seen every single episode of 24.
And I'm Justin Moreno, and I've seen, did you say 126 episodes of 24? Wasn't listening, sorry.
It's been like 10 seconds since I told him the number. 128 episodes of 24.
128 episodes of 24. I've only seen 128 episodes of 24.
And I'm Christina Vanosais. I've also seen 128 episodes of 24. I don't know why I got thrown off.
In this podcast, who knows why you got thrown off? Because of Justin. In this podcast, we're discussing episode 7 and 8 of the 6th season of Fox's original show, 24.
In this podcast, we're discussing all events up to these 2 episodes without spoiling any events from any of the future episodes.
All episodes 24 available to stream on Amazon Prime, and we encourage you to watch along.
Big shout out to our Patreon subscribers. If you want to be a supporter of the show, you can go to patreon.com/thewatch and talk. And massive shout out to our premium supporters, Shakita, June, and Kaka. How you guys doing?
So, the thing about this season is that it's not as bad as you've made it out to be.
Oh, I think it's terrible.
Well, first of all, I'm curious how your week went, Justin.
Week was fine.
You just went on vacation? That's why this episode's coming out late?
So what had happened was I was actually supposed to go to Vegas during the week. And I didn't end up going because of the events that took place.
Yeah, and I have something to talk about with that in a second. But I'm curious, what you did do other things though? You did go on some vacation?
Yeah, there was a lot going on last week.
Yeah, so it was a busy week. Did you get to know anybody? Did you do any networking during the week?
I did some networking. Not enough though. I wasn't very good at it.
Oh, so you're looking for more networking?
Yeah, I'm looking for like a solution that could possibly help me with my networking.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck with that. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
So anyway, moving on from that conversation, shout out to anybody that we hear in the chat. If we ever hear us talk to about somebody in the chat, it's because we stream these episodes live on YouTube. And you just look up the Watch and Talk on YouTube and subscribe. If you follow us on Twitter, we usually give a heads up a couple hours or the day of that we stream them and give a heads up. Let's talk about a couple things from last week. First of all, just like Justin brought up, there was a tragedy that happened in Las Vegas last week. It happened on Sunday night. And that's when our episode comes out. During the week, I re-listened to our episode and cringed the second we got to it because Justin just got back from Vegas, and we made a bunch of jokes about Vegas. But we recorded the episode 4 or 5 days before that had happened, so I just wanted to make sure. I think that was probably made clear in the episode that we didn't that happened before Vegas. But I just hope nobody thought we were being insensitive about the tragedy in Vegas by making a bunch of what happens in Vegas jokes, because we recorded that days
so before. Terrible. Why? Is there any way that you can put like a message ahead of the episode just to like?
I listened to it. We weren't rude. We weren't disrespectful, but we just were making Vegas comments, and it wasn't like we didn't say anything super terrible, but I did hear it, and I was like, "Oof, this isn't good," and I felt like it should be addressed. I think that it's pretty clear. I think it's pretty clear that we didn't know that it was going to happen, but. Yeah, we did record that a couple days before, but we released it literally probably an hour before the actual shooting took place. We released it at 6 p.m., and I think it happened at 7 or 8 p.m. on Sunday night, if I remember correctly. But anyway, obviously no disrespect to anything that happened on that, and yeah, so I figured I'd address that. I called Justin after I listened to it. Justin, we had bad timing on that, so
yeah.
I'm glad we were able to... All right, let's talk about a couple other things. A couple of people asked questions I kind of want to address. Joel tweeted out with some ideas for double episodes, not double episodes, but triple episodes for the season. I don't think that any of us want to do any triple episodes this season, so I don't think we're going to.
Yeah, but we got to take into consideration the nice tweet or the suggestion. I mean, there was none that were like worth doing. You don't think?
He brought up a good point that 8 and 9. Would have been a good one, so 7, 8, and 9 together. So the next one also, because 8 and 9 aired as a double episode during the actual year, but we hadn't discussed it ahead of time. And by the time he said it, I was like, yeah, it's a good point, but it's too late. And we were hard enough time trying to schedule this weekend. I couldn't hit you guys up and say, hey, let's watch one more episode. So yeah, I don't think there's going to be any double episodes this week. Although it would be nice to get through the season faster. Yeah, there's not going to be any double episodes or triple episodes. This season we're going to do 2 episodes at a time. Maybe I mean I'll address it a little later in the season, and maybe if I can come up with one, I'll give a good week or 2 heads up just in case. 2, Brian tweeted us asking if we're going to do an episode, and I responded to them on Twitter, but I figured I'd ask other people. After this season, the writer's strike happened, and season 7 was delayed a year. We had to wait an extra year to get season 7, so there was a 1-year gap in between it. And after the writer's strike ended, they decided to record a TV movie, a 2-hour movie of 24 to bridge the gap between season 6 and season 7, because it's a 4-year gap in between them. It's 2-hour, basically 24 episode. And so, yeah, we will do an episode of that before we start season 7. So one of our episodes will just be us discussing that movie in general. So we'll do that just like a normal 2-episode episode. Sound agreeable, Justin?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And also, one other thing, I'm usually pretty good about cutting out parts that I say I'm going to cut out. But
oh my gosh, no, you didn't. I'm going to punch you. I always say, because I don't believe you that you write down your notes.
But Christina, I always do. I almost always do. But at this one part, out of nowhere,
was it really bad?
No, well, Christina, quit leading the witness. At one part, we lost Christina, and I said, Justin, I got to take a timestamp. We got to refine Christina. And then, while we're waiting to track down Christina, I asked Justin about the new Taylor Swift album. What he thinks of it. I'm like, I sarcastically asked it because it's getting panned everywhere on the internet, and I'm like, what
and then you opened a can of worms.
And then he's like, yeah, I like it. It's fire. And I was like, okay. And then he's like, no, seriously, I really do like it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's his girl.
I was like, okay. KK. I know it's his girl. That's why I said it. So yeah, I was like, do you like it, Justin? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And like I said, he was like, no, I really do like it. And I'm like, okay. And then also, so Darren McCarthy, he's walking on the street. Because then somehow I cut right after that, okay. I cut out us reconnecting with Christina. So I'm sure a lot of people thought that was weird. But yeah, that was a slight editing error. If you want to fix errors like that, you can go to patreon.com/thewatchittalk and you can give us a bunch of money and we'll correct it. Shout out to some of the people from the show that donate to us. Anyway, that's it. I think that got everything out of the way. Let's talk about season 6, 24, episode 7 and 8. Episode 7 aired on February 7th, 2007, and it's 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Before we get into it, Christina made her thoughts pretty clear, and Justin, you're... Dude, Justin, man.
See, all you gotta do is every season just tell him how bad it is, and then you'll get his honest
100%. It's a frame of mine, dude. It's 100%. It's just like I'm going into this thinking like this is
the greatest thing ever. And this one you're going in thinking whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
So first of all, that's your own issue that you let expectations affect the way you.
No, that happens to a lot of people.
I know it does.
Thank you, Christina.
You gotta meditate. You gotta meditate, my friend. 2, these 2 episodes were significantly better than the 2 before it. There's a ton of stupid shit, but
there's just like so many stupid lines that I like can't even. Okay, can I just bring up one that I've been thinking about ever since I heard it?
Yes.
Great. I'm gonna say it incorrectly now that I made this big deal about it. But he's like, "Dad, I did it. I stuck to the plan. That's what you used to say. Yeah. Make plans and stick to them." Yeah. Like, what kind of stupid? Kind of is that what I used to say? Yeah.
Oh, my saying is make a plan and stick to it. Stick with the
plan,
Dad.
How stupid. So I'm just like, man, you guys are normally so good at these like little one-liners, and this one is just like failing on all
What about
fronts.
Josh Bauer? His dialogue is written as a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
He when he comes in.
How old is he supposed to be?
Like 14, 15, your age?
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say my age, 14. Yeah, 13.
When Jack rolled in and has a quick standoff with Graham in this episode, Meryl and Josh are like shocked, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "What are you doing to my dad?" And then he comes out, and Philip Bauer's out there, and he's like, "Grandpa!" it's preposterous. It's ridiculous. Anyway,
yeah,
preposterous.
Yeah, I mean, even at 13, when I saw my grandparents, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, what up, fool?
It's like,
what's up,
hey,
G-Dog?
what up,
What's up?
Granny? Yeah, exactly. Like, that's normal.
What's up, G-Pop Funk? And he's like, what?
Yeah.
What did you say to me? And I was like, that's what's up. That's
yeah,
what's up. Give
exactly.
me some skin, young. And, yeah, so anyway, bunch of freaking just... Also, Wayne Palmer...
Oh, yeah. Couldn't they have killed him off instead?
Honestly, I remember thinking, hey, yeah, he's no Palmer, but man, he's
really no Palmer.
Yeah, it's not even about him as a president. I think as a president, he's a Palmer, sure, ish. But as an actor, DB Woodside, man, I hope he found his calling in the world, because it's bad enough when you're acting as a chief of staff, and I thought he was pretty good in season 5, as a guy that just lost his brother and just trying to, find his way out of it. But as a president, his tone of voice is like nails on a chalkboard to me, and it's just so fake and. So anyway, what do you think about Wayne Palmer, Justin? Let's hear how great he is.
I mean, I don't think it's as bad as you're making it sound, but it's definitely not good either.
Thank you for your
insightful
insight,
addition.
Justin. I really appreciate it.
Fuck off.
That in-depth analysis. I don't think it's as bad as you think, I don't think it's as bad as you think it is, but it's not good. Anyway, thank you, Justin. Appreciate that. Yeah, let's get into the episode. And Larry cut his mic. Justin. Got it? All right, good. All right, just Christine and I from now on. Okay, so Tom Lennox apologizes to Wayne about Karen's resignation. And Wayne is suspicious. All right, you can put his mic back on.
I'm back.
They debate the ethics of waiving people's constitutional rights, and Wayne says to pass it out to the cabinet and they'll convene in third. Did you think he was going to go with it, or did you think he was going to do exactly either of you?
Gosh, I don't know if I put that much thought into it. I think I didn't give it as much thought as it deserved. I was just like, what's going on?
Like, it deserved a ton of thought.
Well, I mean, I probably should have thought, like, I wonder which way he's going to go with this. But I really, honestly, this was a time where I was just, like, watching it, and I was like, okay, well, let's see where this goes. So I'm so sorry. Normally, I'm not like that. Normally,
Christina,
I'm pretty,
like, I mean, I have to say that I appreciate that you are completely on the same page with me, but do you think that you would be on the same page if I hadn't down-talked it? I'm sure.
Yeah, it's just, honestly, this season so far to me feels like recycled. Like, it just feels like a lot of trying really hard with situations, trying to make it seem like really Jack's really having a hard time with things, when it's like either he is or he isn't. Like, don't make it like this whole in-between thing. The whole, like, the bomb thing towards the end, I know that I'm jumping way ahead, but, like, we've been through things like this before. Right. Torture. Oh, no, Jack's having a hard time with it again.
We even have a torture scene with Graham that happened two episodes ago. In the same setting,
it just feels so, like, there's no freshness to it. I feel like at this point, it feels like they're 6 seasons in and they're kind of out of ideas on how to make this different and more unique, because it's like, at the end of the day, like, maybe it is similar, the same story every season, just with twists and turns that are different. So it just feels a little stagnant and boring. So maybe it's a little influenced, but also I think it's just the reality of it.
But, yeah, but things are a little different, though, because this is a more personal
Whatever.
We have Marilyn Bauer. We never had somebody like that before. And Josh Bauer. It's not literally Terry and Kim from the first.
Yeah. I mean, there's just things that I guess I feel like I'm missing. Like, it's not as surprising. And maybe it's because now we're 6 seasons in and we kind of know what to expect to an extent. But even other seasons, even though I knew what to expect, so to speak, they still surprised me. Things here, it's like if something happens that's like, that's interesting, but it doesn't actually like catch me off guard and be like, oh, wow, I didn't see that coming at all. Like, I would have never guessed that, Like Palmer dying in the first episode of last season. That, like, you saw the shock on my face. Like, that was shocking. And I just feel like it's missing its shock factor this season. And just torturing people isn't enough shock factor.
Right. I'll tell you something shocking. Speaking of your reaction to Palmer's Palmer getting. Our freaking innocent video, which is I think good for 24, right?
Oh no!
It was pulled off YouTube.
Oh, why?
We don't have advertisements on it. We're not making freaking money off it or anything like that. We just are having some 24 fans watch our reaction to the first episode of season 5. It got freaking pulled.
Why?
How many views did we get?
I don't know. I mean, I don't have that.
I mean, it just seems like I didn't know that they they pulled
them
off of it. If they were I'm guessing we had under 1,000 views.
No, it doesn't matter how many views you have. They search for frames of video and audio, and once they find it, they have like spider bots searching it. And once they find it, they move it. So.
For the show 24. Oh my god.
It was one of the biggest shows of its time. But anyway, all right, let's get into
this. Did it for season 6. If we did it for season 6, they probably wouldn't have pulled it down.
Yeah, they were like, cool, it needs all the help it can get. All right, so Karen tells Bill that she's resigned, and he's like, "You can't leave the president today of all days."
Exactly.
All
right.
Jack
whatever.
and Philip have a talk about how he's made such a mistake and he lied to himself about Graham while they're getting taken off to get killed. By the way, also that scene makes no sense knowing the truth about Philip Bauer.
Yeah.
In any way, shape, or form. By the way, we haven't seen him since that end of that episode, so we don't even know what's going on there. But anyway. Yeah, so, and Jack's, Graham was all he had after Jack left. Blah, 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 blah. While we're doing this, and we have already mentioned it, let's talk about, let's just jump ahead and talk about the twist that Philip Bauer's acting. Was that surprising to you?
Okay, that was a little, I mean, it wasn't exciting, surprising, or like I had a lot of emotion wrapped up in it, and oh my gosh, I'm surprised.
You probably didn't even have a facial reaction.
Right. So yes, it was surprising, but was it just so, I don't know, was it so great to add that to the story when he kind of thought something, he was in on it, and then it's like, oh no, he's not in on it, but wait, he's not just in on it, he's orchestrating it. It's kind of like, okay, cheesy. It just feels cheesy, like forced. I did think it was pretty crazy that he killed his own son.
Right.
But you saw that coming as the scene was progressing, but that was pretty messed up. And I also think it's sad that Jack probably thinks, and Jack didn't seem too distraught about the situation, but it's sad that he even said, like, did it have to do with the torture? Like, it's kind of a bummer, right, that it's partially his fault. So I'm sure that'll get cleared up by the end of the season, but I really do hope it does. I think the dad should take the full blame for that situation, as he was the one.
Well, it turns out that he's responsible, ultimately,
for all kinds of stuff. Yeah, he's the orchestrator. Right. So I thought that was interesting.
If you ask me, it makes it stupid that he kills his own son, because it just... What is he doing anything for if his family's not important, right? Like, his inner circle, he's old. His inner circle means nothing to him. His employees mean nothing to him. His son means nothing to him. He's going to be dead in, like soon, or at least unable to carry on the torch. Like, what is he doing everything for?
Right. Like, what's the point?
Right. Like,
yeah. That's how I feel too. It's just kind of like, huh? Okay, I guess we'll figure it out.
Why didn't he kill Jack? Why didn't they just kill Jack?
Well, that's been my question this entire time. Is they keep saying we should have killed him, and then they just like keep letting him go. I don't know.
Instead, they orchestrated this. Okay, how did they orchestrate this? Did he call him ahead of time and say he didn't know Jack was with him? So how did they even make this facade they put up that he was gonna turn on his dad and pretend like his dad's the good guy and he's the bad guy, and then his guards were somehow in on it, but not in on it enough to know that they were gonna get killed? Like, did the guards know that Philip Bauer was a bad guy? Because they took him to, right? And then obviously Philip killed the guy because he didn't want Jack interrogating him, right?
Yeah.
So where did they plan this situation? Did they know that Jack was going to show up at the door? It was a contingency plan. Why did they want to keep Jack alive?
Contingency plan if Jack shows up. So here's what happens if this happens, and here's what happens if your son shows up.
Right, and
I also think Bluetooth guy, the way they kind of Bluetooth man, the way that they like made him out to be in this other seasons It was really suspicious. He seemed like he kind of had some power. He didn't seem too much like a chump. And now he's like, well, Dad, you make plans and you stick to them. Like, when did he become like Mr. like, I don't know, it didn't add up.
Like,
it seemed
like he was more
life. Yeah. He seemed more conniving in the previous season, although the actions he's doing are conniving. But he just didn't come off as this criminal or this mastermind or this really evil person. And he's like the man behind the curtain this whole time, where it's supposed to be like, ooh, tell me more. Like, he's doing a lot, and it just didn't add up. It's like, okay, well, I guess you're not even
isn't this a waste of a character?
Yeah.
I always thought that this
all didn't add up.
That I was kind of talking about it last episode, but I couldn't finish it because then I say, oh, it ends up being his brother, and then he gets killed in the first 7 episodes, and Jack doesn't even kill him. So it really makes it stupid that he was his brother. His dad could still have been a bad guy without him being his brother, and it just there could have been way more shocking moments. If they had somebody else as a brother, they still could have had his brother be a bad guy, but not him. Especially because they just don't even freaking look alike.
Yeah.
But I don't even think that's that's definitely not the biggest problem with it. That's
not. It's just.
Yeah, I guess Justin and his brother don't look too much alike.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys look alike. You look like your family, but you guys don't look like. I think you look like your cousin more.
Yeah, true. 100%.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is good content. Anyway, so guys,
you're just mad because I've met his cousin and I know Justin's
you feel
family.
left
That's
out.
all. You're jealous.
Sounds like you feel left out.
Yeah, sad.
So guys take them out to the guards take them out to kill them, and get on your knees in front of the pit. Why do they do that? Why don't they just shoot them? Why don't they take them to the pit and shoot them? Why do they even have them alive still? Anyway, no, at least look me in the eyes when you kill me. And then they rush them and kill them because these guys are it's a cartoon. And, so they kill them. And it would have been nice to see them throw those bodies in the pits. But yeah, Philip kills the guy that Jack knocked out. And he's like, I need to question him. And they're like, you're going to kill us, Jack. He would definitely kill him.
Which now that makes more sense, right?
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say he killed him for that, but...
Yeah. But he killed him so that Jack wouldn't question him.
What did that guy know?
Think about it.
That guy knew Philip was a bad guy, so he was in on this. What did that guard think was going to happen when they took them to the pit to kill them? That they were just going to kill Jack and then put Jack in the hole?
And then also, if that was all part of the plan, then was it part of the plan to kill your man?
Yeah. The plan the whole time was to kill those 2 guards?
Right, the homies?
Yeah. So stupid. None of it makes sense.
None of it.
Anyway, Darren McCarthy tells Fayed that he'll have a nuke program within the hour. CTU intercepts a transmission of the call and then like a picture message that was sent. Do you guys see this at all being Morris? Was that a surprise to you guys?
That was a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah. I think it was a surprise. I thought at first I was like, wait, did I miss something? Is Morris somehow bad? And so I thought like I messed up and I didn't catch that he was like a bad guy. But then as soon as like everyone was talking to him, I was like, okay, no, he's not a bad guy. It's just he was the guy. I didn't realize he had so many capabilities. When he said, I'm just a data analysis, I was like, yeah, I thought that and a shoe salesman. I didn't know you also did advanced programming.
Women's shoes. Women's
shoes, excuse me.
He also sells women's shoes, also does advanced programming.
CTU surrounds Graham's house, and his dad's like, let me go with you. And he's like, I need to question Graham alone. Why? And he doesn't do it alone, by the way. He does it with Agent Burke. Shout out to Agent Burke coming back, right? Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Am I right?
And he's like, what are you going to do to him? Whatever it takes. How many times have we heard Jack say that? That same line.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. They are washed up. And if the strike is the following season, they were getting ready to strike here because they're
giving up on the quality.
They might have already been having their conversations.
Inside the house, Graham and Marilyn are arguing. And Josh Bauer comes in the room.
Oh, gosh. All you guys ever do is argue. Shut up.
Could you guys stop fighting? All you ever do is fight.
Like, how stupid.
Adults wrote the lines for this kid. And the kid was like, you know what? This is good lines. I'll say these good lines.
Oh, I'm guessing none of those adults ever came from, like, a family of divorce or anything.
But we all wish they did.
Mm-hmm.
Carry on.
Jack talks to Marilyn and he tells her the truth. She's not surprised.
Yeah, that was weird. I'm not surprised.
I didn't know he was doing this, but I know what he's capable of. You're like, wait, hold on a second. Wait, what? You're not surprised that
this wasn't too weird?
That he would sell a nuclear bomb to a terrorist set off in the country? That's
so weird.
Wait, guys, give us a second. Surprised. I need to talk to her for 1 second. Wait, I'm sorry. What do you mean that you're not surprised that he sold a nuclear bomb to a terrorist that was set off in Valencia that killed the most amount of people that have ever been killed in one explosion on U.S. soil ever in the world?
Not surprised.
I'm just not surprised. I just know what he's capable of.
That sounds like him.
What? I'm sorry. What has he done that made you think he was capable of doing that? That you knew?
I mean, it's just that we fight all the time.
Oh yeah, we always fight all the time. Anyway, it's
pretty far-fetched.
So and then he's like, I'll try to protect Josh, and she's like, I've seen what happens when you try to protect people.
Ooh.
Harsh.
Ouch. That was a little bit
They take them CTU. Grandpa! On the way out. And he hugs Grandpa. Grandpa, I missed you! What's gonna happen to Dad, Grandpa? Don't worry, Joshy boy. Here, take this lollipop. You'll be good. Anyway, Jack gets interrogating, which is silly because we already went through this. And the lie detector is picking up that he's lying about not knowing how to find Darren McCarthy. Agent Burke is in the interrogation, and he's like, don't make me do this. He's like, we grew up together, Jack. I could never make you do anything you didn't want to do. They thought that this would make this, like, the stakes higher.
Yeah, they thought that was a good line. That's what I'm saying.
He's already had to interrogate friends before. Right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, didn't feel that intense. I do remember when he did spill the beans about Palmer, getting emotional when I saw it, but I think I was getting drunk when I watched it. I think I was drinking that whiskey, you know what I'm saying?
You know that good. Yeah, I feel that, dude.
Morris's brother got radiation, supposedly. Miles says not to tell him so he could stay focused, and Chloe says no and then tells him, and he tries to go, and Chloe stops him. Who gives a fuck?
Oh.
And so this ended up being a setup. But again, it's the same thing as Adam's freaking... somebody Adam knew being involved or being in the hospital or whatever, getting the virus, right?
Yeah, his sister.
In season 3, his sister, right? Yeah.
Yeah. His sister.
And like, there's been so many situations of somebody having a family member. Edgar's mom was by the power plant that went off.
Yeah.
Guys, let's have one of their family members we've never heard of be there so it's personal for them.
So yeah, it makes it more it
makes it
very
more
good idea.
personal
it's a fresh
for the
idea.
Audience. Yeah, so
fresh idea.
Oh my God, you better get out because your brother has radiation. What was he doing in Valencia? I don't know. I'm gonna head out there. No, you gotta do your work. And he's like, okay, fine, I'll do my work with Milo. Remember Milo and his bickering in the couple episodes ago? That's been swept under the rug.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't about any dating either. I remember that.
Yeah. Jack finds out about the intercept of Darren McCarthy is helping him arm the nukes, and they start pumping Graham with sodium pentothal, which makes him go ouchie, ow, ow, ouchie. And then he has a moment where he like hugs him and comforts him while he's being tortured. Kiefer Sutherland does good acting in this. I still also think they thought that was more powerful than it, because this is after he callously sentenced him and his dad to that. So we really don't feel bad for him.
Not even a little bit.
And we know that he is also responsible for David Palmer and Michelle Des. Anyway, so Adam on Twitter tweeted us saying, this story makes little sense, but Kiefer's acting during Graham's interrogation reveal it. I don't disagree.
I mean, he's not. You can't like disagree. I would say, but like, I mean, like it's as good. It's as good as Jack Bauer gets. Like it's just he. I think is not the problem with this season whatsoever. Right?
Of course not.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't think you could necessarily disagree. Like that line was delivered exactly the same. Like as it would have been. I think the situation that got us there was stupid, and that's why we're complaining about it. But if that scene had been taken and put it into like season 5, for example, we would have thought, okay, wow, that was well delivered.
But I'm saying I think it was well delivered. I agree that it was well delivered. So I think it was a shining light in this episode. Surrounded by just shadows of despair and desolation. Agony.
I'll agree with that.
So he finally spills the beans about Palmer, Tony, Michelle, and Jack like pretty much starts crying. And he does this to cover up for him lying on the lie detector. I don't know why they don't ask him again. Was that all you were hiding from us? Because then Jack's afterwards like, oh, that's what was triggering the lie detector. Okay, whatever. But he said he did it for the sake of his country. He's like, we're the same. We are not the same! That was all over the trailers, by the way, once again. Slams his chair on the ground, draws his gun, then draws his gun on Burke for like the 50th time. Burke must hate Jack Bauer. He doesn't draw his freaking gun on him. Anyway, force him to pump more CCs. Agents come in, Jack draws on them. You know, pretty good scene. Not gonna lie, but I just remember being moved by this originally. Maybe a highlight, maybe even of the season, to be honest. And it's really not even.
Oh, that's too early for that.
It's really not even. It's really not even that great. It's good, but it's not like, I don't know. I think not as good as anything we get with Palmer and Jack, like in the end of season 5.
It is much too early for the highlight of the season, Dylan.
Well, in my opinion. I'm
it doesn't matter if it's your opinion or not. It's still nerve-wracking.
I'm also saying that... Well, also, we're a third of the way through now. But...
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I also said one of them. But yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Anyway, so... yeah, he tells... he snaps out of it at the sight of his father, and he tells his CTU and his dad what he found out about. While Lee's in the hospital. Stupid. Sandra and Wayne talk, and she explains the horror of the detainment and how do you expect any of them to help if you're making them your enemies. So that seems to persuade him to. We meet the vice president, played by Powers Booth, R.I.P.
Another lost character.
Who was he in Lost?
Right? He was in Lost, right? What's his name? Tell me his name.
Powers Booth?
Powers? Like Power?
I'm searching. Don't worry. I already have it freaking pulled up. I don't know.
I can search.
Yeah, but I already have it pulled up.
Oh, no, he wasn't in Lost. He's like in a million other things.
He's in Deadwood, I know, for show.
He's in like a ton of things.
Deadwood.
Yeah. Deadwood.
Oh, the Avengers. He's in the Avengers.
Not the...
Oh,
45 more. 45 more. There's he's in lots of stuff.
What is he in the Avengers?
I think the Avengers like cartoon series. That's what he.
Oh.
No, it said. Oh, maybe I don't know. I just
World Security Council. He was in the World Security Council. That's what he was in the Avengers.
Oh, he's in. Okay, I'm gonna tell you where I know him from. My bad. Definitely not Lost. Nashville. He's the dad. He's the grandpa.
Oh, Nashville. Of course. How did we not know?
Yes, that's where I know him well.
I know him really well. I already knew him well before this because of the movie Tombstone, and then the movie Sudden Death with Jean-Claude Van Damme. He was the main villain. So I hope everybody understands. Huge role. Anyway, he passed away.
And I got him confused.
Passed away.
I got him confused
let's give a moment
with the guy
for Powers Booth. Okay, Christina, what were you gonna say?
I got him confused with the guy in Lost but he's totally not him.
Charles
I'm so
Widmore?
sorry. Sorry to all fans. No, I got him confused with the guy that puts on like the beard. I don't want to ruin it because Case just
okay,
it,
Mr.
But
Friendly.
you know who I'm
Mr.
talking
Friendly.
about.
You're talking about Lost?
Yeah.
Mr. Friendly is who you're talking about, Chris.
Yeah.
Anyway, Noah Daniels is talking to Tom, and he seems menacing. Thought this president wouldn't have the backbone to do what's right for the cure.
What was that?
Like, all right, we have a menacing vice president. If only they had another black president on the show who had a vice president who was trying to super authority.
Exactly. Like, oh, fresh ideas.
What
guys.
a
fresh
shocking,
ideas, guys.
Shocking
All good
idea.
stuff here.
And to have his that's the thing. It's very personal once it's your chief of staff turning on you. Imagine if we'd seen another chief of staff turn against the president of the United States because he disagreed with his military intervention after a terrorist attack.
Great
I was just wondering if that's what a fresh idea for this show. Anyway, yeah. So that's Noah Daniels, and the president at the meeting shuts the orders down, and Noah Daniels is like, "Is there any discussion for this?" No, the decision is final. And then the image from McCarthy clears up. It's Morris, and I don't see why they insist upon having CTU find things out at the last minute, and everyone formulaically try to solve it, and then they get captured anyway. I don't know why that's better. I guess they want to make it seem like CTU is good at what they do. They're just late.
I mean, I guess you got to think of it from this perspective too, like that it's happening over a day. So are they that late? Like, or is it just we're expecting them to do more and it's happening within an hour kind of thing?
Fair enough.
I don't know.
But what I'm saying is they're still too late in all these situations. Like, they have all these situations where they're like, wait, we got to figure out, wait, no, it's not this person. It's something else. Wait, it's something else than we thought it was. And then that person's like it just happened in the freaking last episode. Wait, guys, they're not terrorists at all. Get them out of there. Get them out of there. Get Waleed out of there. And then Waleed's like, oh, okay. They're like, wait, where's my cell phone? Where's my cell phone? Oh, it's you. I smuggled that in my ass. But he said that in Arabic.
He says I smuggled it in my ass in Arabic?
Yeah, I smuggled that in my ass in Arabic.
And you touched it.
And you touched it. You have gross poopies. Anyway, so then they call Morris and tell him, and he's like, no, I'm not going to turn around. This is my brother. My brother's head. I'm not going to turn around. That's my terrible impression of
that was actually
Morris.
pretty decent. I just said D's. I'm Justin.
McCarthy shows up Christina.
And says he'll bring him to Fayed. I want a little bit of lettuce.
Oh, no, you should have stuck with the first one.
Yeah, that was much worse.
That's like more of like a Cockney accent. Anyway, so Philip is given 5 minutes to talk to his son. How am I doing, Dad? You're doing great, son. Everybody thinks Jack is so tough, but so am I. I'm tough, too.
I just took everything he had to dish out.
And he knows you didn't tell him everything. They're going to interrogate you and see you do way worse things. I can take it. Jack bought the ruse. And, yeah, they should have killed him. And this time I asked too much. I'm sorry. And then he's not sitting there going, no! He still, like, doesn't figure out that he's getting killed by his own father. Anyway, Jack's a fatal dose of sodium pentothal. My son had a seizure. You people killed my son. Beep, 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 beep. Episode 608 aired on February 12th, 2007. It was the first part of a double episode. And it's 1 p.m. to 2 p.m.
This is the first part of a double episode?
Yes.
Why? These are the ones he was saying.
What do you mean?
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
In the middle of every season, they do 2 episodes together, and the 2 episodes they did were 8 and 9, which was weird. It's usually 11 and 12. Anyway, Chloe talks to Jack, and she says, Jack, what are they going to do to him about Morris? And he's like, they need him alive to arm the bomb. Just really bad dialogue in the season. Everything. For a show that's not necessarily the best at dialogue as it is, it's just so... Ugh. Anyway, Jack is told that Graham dies, and he thinks it's his fault. Milo tells Buchanan Chloe is starting to screw up, and then he pulls her off her work. He's like, Chloe, are you okay? And she's like, I just need people like you to go away. And he's like, Chloe, are you all right? She's like, yeah, just piss off. And he's like, Chloe, you're off. Milo, take care of her work, because Milo wasn't working on anything. Anyway, Milo finds him on satellite, and Jack goes to intercept. And then Morris screws with them, letting know CTU knows who McCarthy is. But then McCarthy loses them. And then when he's trying to find another car, Morris pleads with his girlfriend, seemingly effectively, saying CTU doesn't know who you are. So he thinks that's going to help him get out. Hey, you can just get away scot-free. They don't know who you are. You can get away. But she takes that as, well, I can't have McCarthy around me because they know who he is and he's a burn. So she kills him and pushes him out of the car. And he's dead. So
bye.
another villain gone, turned on him. Anyway, yeah, Jack lands helicopter on the freeway. Too late, they gone, and then the girlfriend decides she's gonna get the money by herself. Tom and Wayne discuss his little backstabbing him, and he's like, "Whatevs, bro." Mad. Then Assad arrives. And then Tom throws a fit with Chad Lowe behind closed doors. He says he's going to resign. Write my letter of resignation. He didn't get his way.
Is that something that you have someone else write for you, usually?
I don't know. Maybe. If you're lazy and don't respect the person you're giving. And he said he's resigning and Palmer's not fit to be president. And Chad Lowe's like, dude, don't. I'm Chad Lowe, the brother of Rob Lowe. I literally don't want you to...
Literally?
And Chad Lowe, he has Chad Lowe draft his letter and he's like, and then Chad Lowe calls somebody and they have some sort of conspiracy going on. And it's an extreme action. We have to do something pretty extreme, but it must be done. And they need Lennox in his position. Hey, I'll feel him out. See how he's doing if he wants to overthrow the president of the United States.
Just fill it out real quick.
Buchanan tells Marilyn about Graham, whatever, who cares? The girlfriend delivers Morris to Fayed. She's terrified, trembling the whole time. And they start beating...
also stupid.
Very stupid. They start beating...
Don't get involved in something that you can't keep up with.
Stray dog. That's what I would say. That's what you always said, Dad.
That's what you all say. Don't get involved in something you can't keep up with.
They start beating up Morris and torturing him and getting to try to get him to modify some computer stuff that he says that he's not going to do. And then Chloe's let back on. Sorry, I know I made a mistake earlier, but I won't do it anymore. I'll get my head back in game. What was the point?
Yeah.
Assad meets
her
with...
being gone didn't happen while anything major was going on.
Right.
It didn't change anything.
Nothing.
It literally was absolutely pointless. All it did was fill 30 seconds of dialogue.
Or it made it seem like she cared about her husband.
But we already know she cares about him.
Sure.
So, yeah. No, I agree with you. I'm agreeing with you.
No, I know you agree with me.
Oh, sometimes when you say you're sures, I'm not sure what you mean.
I'm just like, no,
I think his sures are normally pretty good.
That sure was
like
a defeated and deflated one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So Assad meets with the president.
Intense showdown.
You're joking, right?
Of course.
Okay. He was apparently the worst terrorist ever. Remember Curtis? Yes. Remember that he apparently scalped all of Curtis's people, killed all of them or whatever, and that's why Curtis wanted to kill him in broad daylight, commit murder, and go to jail for the rest of his life. That's how bad, that's how evil this guy was. That we've never seen, but we've heard, because they're all about the tell, don't show on the show. Sometimes in season 6. Now he's sitting down with the president for lunch. I believe you're serious about this peace agreement. I'll be Wayne Palmer right now. I know the atrocities you've done against my country, but I have looked at your file, and I believe you're serious about this peace agreement. Yes, but on my terms. Yes, but on my terms. You're sitting down with the president of the United States.
Can we give a second to appreciate Dylan's reenactment there? Because I thought it was really good.
And he played both characters. Both
characters were super well done. Honestly, 10 out of 10.
But listen, I have to tell you this. If one more bomb goes off, this peace agreement cannot happen. There are people in my government that want to bomb not only your people, but the governments that support them. Well, what do you want me to do, Mr. President? What can I do? I'm just a man. I want you to go on TV, do a press conference with me, and I want you to show the people that you stand by the American government. They will not listen to me, Mr. President. I am just one guy. Fayed is already calling me a traitor. That's all I got.
You don't need to. Nobody needs to watch the episode now.
I know.
They literally don't need to watch.
As if anybody wants to watch the season 6 anyway. Even on the rewatch. I feel like what's gonna happen with we're gonna see a significant dip in our downloads.
I'm surprised. I was expecting us to get tweets or emails saying, you guys are a bunch of freaking dickheads with your heads up your asses. If we're dickheads and we have our heads up our asses, that means
that's not.
Oh, that's
so we actually
by the transitive property of dicks. We actually have. Anyway, that's besides the point. That's for another conversation. But we haven't had anybody give a shit. Everybody's just like, I thought, especially the last episode, I was screaming into the microphone.
You were angry.
And all we got was people saying it was funny.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not speaking for everybody out there listening for this, but if you are completely annoyed by it, you're probably not listening to this episode because you're probably over it. But let us know. Should we tone it down? Should we keep it how it's going? What do you want? You just want us to talk about the good of season 6 because we can. We can make these 4-minute episodes.
I was going to say
we'll do
all the episodes will fit in one podcast.
But guys, don't worry.
And then I just won't show up.
As the old saying goes, like episodes like this, yeah, it's kind of a downer, or the episodes before it. But as the old saying goes, it's always darkest.
Make a plan and you stick to it. Oh, sorry.
No, as the old saying goes, it's always darkest before it gets pitch black.
Is that the old saying?
That's how the saying goes.
Classic.
And it's pretty dark right now, but as the season goes on, it will be getting pitch black. So that's something to look forward to. So that's good.
Good. I'm excited.
So anyway, yeah. So yeah, they debated it. They're gonna go to a press conference or something. He's like Bin Laden, basically sitting down with the president, whatever. CTU finds the building and then sets off a fire alarm. Everyone's being cleared out of the building. This is the building that Fayed's in, right? This is where he's holding Morris. And guys, Fayed is a criminal mastermind, right? He's not an idiot like everybody else. The fire alarm's going off, and one of the terrorists goes, "What if there is really a fire? What if there's really a fire in the building?" And Fayed, he's no dummy. He takes the butt of his gun and breaks that fire alarm, the smoke detector in the place. Which is what it was, a smoke detector, not a fire alarm. He breaks a smoke detector, not a fire alarm. Anyway, and then he says...
And then it stops making the noise.
And then it stops in there. And then he says...
He could have just as easily taken the battery out, but,
He says...
Trauma.
"It is not a fire. CTU knows we're here." What a freaking genius. In the building that they're in, he knows that it's not a fire going off like that one terrorist thought it was. He knows that it's CTU tricking them. Wow.
Smart man.
Jack's never had an adversary this smart.
I also was like, okay, Jack and team, this is a pretty stupid thing. But then I thought about it, I was like, oh, they're probably not trying to like do anything other than clear out the place. I mean, exactly what ended up happening. Right. Clear out the place and the people that don't clear out. So I was like,
exactly
okay.
what they're trying to do.
Right. But at first I was like, what do they think they're going to accomplish?
Yeah, they're going to be like, hey,
we're just going to walk out in a single file line holding hands.
Yes. So they torture Morris in various ways, and the most brutal is a kind of gory drilling scene. It's kind of gory.
Yeah, I didn't really like it. It reminded me of Saw type action.
I dig. That was the coolest part.
I've been rewatching the Saws because
oh Lord,
an upcoming
Saw 3, dude. Saw 3 is the best.
I'm working on Saw 3.
That's the best one.
Shout out to an upcoming article I have in the Hollywood Reporter about the Saw franchise. So look forward to that before the.
Is there a new movie coming out?
Yeah,
there is.
Jigsaw's coming out in like 2 weeks.
Oh, I usually like those. That's like the only horror movie that I ever really actually could enjoy.
Let's go watch it together.
No thanks. Don't like it that much.
She's thinking about it.
I've actually heard great things about Get Out, and it's going to be added to HBO next week or next month. So I'm finally going to watch it after all that begging you did, and I just shut it
You
down.
have to watch this
movie.
Let's bring
it.
I'm going to.
Let's bring it.
I'm going to watch it. It's going to be on HBO.
No reason to bring it in.
Let's bring it.
Yeah, this conversation's
also, if you want to see any of my other great, wonderful writings,
let's bring it in. Let's bring it in.
I did two Blade Runner articles for Hollywood Reporter. You can just go to HollywoodReporter.com, search my name, Dylan Chuck, and there's some good ones. So before you go see Blade Runner 2049, you should read my recap of the original Blade Runner. Everything you need. Check it out.
I did read it.
I started trying to watch it the other day.
Did you like it, Justin?
Like your article?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I should probably preface. I didn't read all of it because it was
not good enough to finish.
Not good enough to finish.
I'll go fuck myself. Chad Lowe.
6 out of 10, not good enough to finish.
Comes to Tom with a plan to take Palmer. It seems Tom rejects it. Remember, he was supposed to go in there and feel him out, and he goes and says, what if there was a plan to get him out of office? Well, we can't go through the courts right now. What if it wasn't the courts? What if it was something...
You're not saying what I think you're saying, are you?
More extreme. Yeah, no, I'm just just thinking out loud.
Oh,
because it seemed like you had an entire plan. And
call me Ed Sheeran. Sorry,
Tina, that was not good, but it wasn't awful either. Okay, just.
Sorry.
I don't know if you expected Dylan to get it or I don't know. Wrong audience.
So they do a
wrong
thermal
time.
scan and locate who's left in the building. And Morris finishes up the bomb. They tell him to arm the nuke that they have, and before they kill Morris, at least this isn't a get down on your knees. Like, they do drop him on his knees, but they like don't tell him to. They just like kick him in the back of the legs and go to shoot him. And then CTU busts in and kills everybody, but guess who happens to get away, guys?
Morris safe and knocked out.
No, who
got away, you mean? I'm sorry. I thought you meant who survived.
Got
away is...
And the main character, the main villain.
What's his name, guys?
Fayed.
Hearing
Saeed.
Christina
Saeed.
saying his name. Fayed gets away, of course. And he got away without the... So, that means he's armed the nuke and just took off without his guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye, my guys.
Yeah, and then they, Jack kills 2 of them, so that's 3 kills that Jack got. And they find the nuke was set to go off, and Jack goes, CTU, this is Bauer, we got a problem. Beep, 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 beep. But that's just for the commercial break. So he talks him through it, though. It's kind of suspenseful a little bit, whatever. He figures out how to lift this cap and put the screwdriver in between.
It was a little suspenseful. A little suspenseful.
But we know the bomb's not going to go off in Jack's face, but whatever. It's still a little suspenseful.
Right.
Well, I think we're going to see the scene again where Jack holds his breath like longer than what's humanly possible. But also, like, how did they get the schematics of this bomb so quickly? And like, I don't know. I just have a hard time with it.
So they found
you have a hard time with it.
They found out.
And then also, wait, really quick. So then you put down the 2, 3, and 4, or whatever it was, 1 and 3. And doing the wrong one had no negative consequence?
Yeah.
That seems odd.
It sped it up a little bit.
Oh, that's what happened? Oh, okay.
I didn't notice. Wait, they did?
Yeah, like it started going
You'd think that like pushing the wrong thing on a bomb would set the bomb off.
Make it explode. Yeah.
I guess not. I guess it's just like, oh, sorry, your time's ticking faster. Like, okay.
You'd think, wouldn't you? You'd think.
You would.
So they found out that Fayed escaped through the sewer, and then he found a medical evac chopper that was waiting for him. And then Morris tells Jack about the device he made, and Jack scolds him!
I mean, I'll give it to Jack.
Right.
You made them a working... What did he say?
Yeah, you gave him something that works. And then Lennox
he
finds...
he didn't want to die. He's fine.
Yeah,
Lennox finds out about the armed nukes, and he tells Reed, who's Chad Lowe.
Cancel that.
Cancel that. You know that resignation? Shred
order
that.
I put in? Yeah, I don't need that anymore.
Let's go along with this plan to overthrow the president of the United States, who I helped get into office because I disagree with him on this foreign policy. And then...
Beep, sounds like a good idea.
Beep, beep. So, what do you guys think of this human shit? What's the best part of this season, Christina? Let's come up with 3 things that we like.
Positive takeaways?
Yes.
Okay. Start with Justin, because it's going to be kind of harder for me, I think.
Homeboy's wife, looking decent.
Oh, Lord.
Christina.
How did I know?
Looking decent.
Oh, I have a positive. Kim's not a part of the season yet.
No cougars.
Let's be real, guys.
Okay, sorry. Let's reset. Let's bring it in, Justin.
Jack hasn't been awful. I mean, there's nothing been wrong with Jack, I should say.
Yeah, but that should go without saying. Like, I don't expect.
I also
Jack
don't think he's delivering his torture, like his like PTSD that they're trying to make it seem like he has.
Right, it seems phony. It's like, come on. If he was really bothered, it'd be different. I don't feel like it's.
I don't know if they just keep putting it in the back burner. Like, they have Jack come back and be Jack too quickly, and.
Yeah.
They had opportunity here to make it something different, and they made it so the same.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I kind of like... a positive. I like the twist that Phil Bauer was a bad guy. That was at least a surprise. I just don't like the execution of it, but I like the idea that... I even like the idea of his dad being a bad guy, but it's just so overshadowed by the brother being Blue.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see.
So, what else is positive, guys?
Positive.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, this is really dramatic.
Okay, look. Okay, is there anything positive about the White House storyline?
The White House storyline?
Yes.
No.
I mean,
Nothing.
I mean, I like so far that Palmer's sticking to his guns, right? Like, he's sticking to the opinions he has and the decisions he's made. So I like that he has a little backbone.
You're being creative. I appreciate that.
Okay, so that's one positive.
Okay. Was there anything positive about the Sandra Palmer storyline?
I mean...
No, you don't have to think about it. There's nothing positive. Nothing.
Poop phone.
Is there anything positive going on in any of the side drama they have going on at CTU? Anything happening in CTU at all? Is there any characters that are good this season? Bill sucks this season. Chloe sucks this season. I mean, I don't want to say she sucks.
Whatever's going on.
I like that Chloe's seems more grounded than ever. I appreciate that. She seems more adult than ever too. She seems like the adult in the room to Morris and Milo and all that kind of stuff. But Nadia's story sucked. Milo sucks. I think Morris sucks. Chloe sucks.
Yeah, we're
she's
missing
so
Edgar here.
Morris,
we're missing Edgar.
Right. Yeah, Chloe sucks because she's so involved with Morris. Yeah, like I said, Bill just sucks. The two most memorable lines for him right now are him saying, "But Jack, you can't quit now. We need you." And he's like, I can't do this anymore. And then he says, "You can't quit today, my wife, Karen Hayes. Today of all days." So bad. Anyway, so nothing good in CTU, right? We all agree that there's nothing there.
Yeah, I'm not seeing much there.
Okay. So
what's left?
Is there anything good with the terrorists? With the Fayed? Is there anything good with Assad? Do we think Assad's...
I mean, I think the whole terrorist break... Okay, so I think we decided it was like weird and like maybe unnecessary, but the whole terrorist breaking the guy out of jail on the bus and the what's it called? Correctional officer was part of the gig. Like, we agree that it doesn't make much sense, but that was at least kind of like, oh, okay, that's kind of new.
that sucked because there was this hillbilly go, "All right, come on, Fayed is waiting. Come on out.
Yeah,
Fayed's
but at
waiting."
least that was something that we haven't necessarily seen. We saw Jack break somebody out of jail, but that was completely different. So at least that was like
we didn't expect him to be hiding in the bus.
Right, in the bus, and like, they're in on it, or he's in on it. So that was kind of
Then why is that? Why? Well, then we could say the same thing about Morris being the programmer.
Yeah, that wasn't terrible. That wasn't terrible.
Actually, I was like, because it kind of made me think like, that was. I mean, not terrible at this point. It seems like a positive, right?
Did we notice Jack's latex like scars on his hand that look terrible?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Do you guys notice it right now when he was opening up the bomb case? It looked so bad.
Yeah, there was one scene that I noticed it for sure. I don't remember exactly which one, but
okay. So what's good about Graham and all the Bowers?
His wife.
I went on my rant about them already.
I think at least Philip, the James Cromwell, who plays Philip Bauer, Oscar-nominated actor, I think he's a good actor, and he at least does a good job.
Yeah, I don't think that people are bad actors. I don't think it's their fault necessarily. I mean, there are a couple people who aren't great.
Marilyn Bauer.
Yeah, I'd say there's a couple people who aren't great actors, but I don't think it's their fault that they've been delivered a really just rough around the edges season. Just not up to snuff.
Do you think that if this season was happening and Dennis Haysbert, who played David Palmer, was delivering the same lines as Wayne Palmer, do you think that it would come off as cringy?
If they brought back... Oh, I was totally going on a different... I was going to start talking about things that weren't even answering the question.
They definitely wouldn't. These would be delivered.
But if it would have been him and my girl Sherry...
Anyway,
they would have been a lot better.
Guys... This isn't a joke. We literally can't come up with positivity for this. We've scraped together the time the redneck was like, "Come on out, Fayed is waiting." That's what we can scrape together as a positive.
Ouch, that is pretty rough.
I think that was stupid as hell.
Yeah.
Positives about the season on the podcast.
I'll meet you at the rodeo tonight, but in the meantime, Fayed is waiting. Like, it's so ridiculous.
Positives about this season on the podcast. Yeah, that's a positive of this season on the cast. Yeah. Dylan's voice acting has been top tier stuff.
Mr. President, on my terms, I will do a piece. Well, then fuck you. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Actually, we're gonna try you for war crimes. Actually, we're gonna execute you right now. We're gonna execute you right now, Assad. They dropped the ball with Assad so bad. Like, I think he's a great actor. He's on Game of Thrones. He's on Battlestar Galactica. He's a well-known, well-liked actor, and I think he does fine. But they just, again, I know I've already talked about this, and I'm sorry I'm broken record, but they just blew it with making us feel what everybody else feels about him. They just keep telling us, but we did not feel it at all. And I guess that's what they wanted to do with Curtis, but shit, man, Curtis, he died like a chump, dude. Anyway. Anything else we want to discuss?
I think we beat that horse pretty good.
Pretty.
Yeah,
pretty good.
That horse.
Good thing is, we'll be done with the season, guys, in only 8 short weeks.
Oh Lord.
2 months. So by
it's gonna be like Christmas already.
Christmas time that's gonna be our Christmas present. Is season 7. Hey guys, season 7 has its ups and downs, but man, it has some pretty good ups. It has some downs, but it has some pretty good ups. And it's the premiere we're watching together. We're filming it again. We're putting it on YouTube. Fuck you, YouTube. We don't care if you cut us out. We're gonna put it up
during Christmas.
Yeah, during Christmas. They're not gonna pull us down on Christmas and ruin Christmas.
No, I mean, when are we gonna record it? We don't even know what week that is. Okay, we're not getting into this right now. Right. That's not for the viewers.
We will make it work. We will make it work, even if you guys have to come to my house to get it. Which is exactly what we're going to do. All right, where can people follow you on the internet, Justin Moreno, if they want to hear more?
If anybody in the world is still listening, I'm on the internet under @JustinBMoreno on Twitter and Instagram.
Christina Vanisize, where can people follow you on the
@K
internet?
_Vanisize on Twitter, which I think I'm going to boycott, and @K Vanisize on Instagram.
What a saleswoman.
It's just so dumb. It keeps telling me that there's suspicious activity on my account, and I have to keep resetting my password. It all just seems real shady.
My grandma would react the exact same way to the same thing.
Just turn it off. Yeah, just cancel it. Turn it off. I don't want that membership.
Mr. President, I will delete your Twitter under my terms.
Yeah.
We need to come together, and we need to delete this Twitter account. We need to have all the people
I might
delete.
Like, who wants to hack someone who doesn't even tweet? Hack someone who has like followers and tweet stuff. So dumb. Anyways.
No, Christina, continue. This is great content.
No, it's really annoying.
I would hack you for sure.
I'll hack the shit out of you. Maybe Morris O'Brien did it at the behest of a terrorist.
Advanced coding. Where do people follow you?
Shuckster, @Shuckster, SCHUCKSTER. And yeah, go to thewatchandtalk.com. Check out my movie review podcast. We just did Blade Runner 2049, a super in-depth episode about it, and we did also our preview of the remaining movies of the year, and it's a panel of 4 people, and it's a great one, so don't miss it. Next week we're going to be doing, I believe, the Thurgood Marshall biopic named Marshall, so check that out. And for the show, you can follow us at Legacy24. Go to our website, legacy24.com. Email us, legacy24@gmail.com. Write us a damn review, guys. What the hell? We haven't got a review in a minute. And you know what? I hate to be a beggar, but I'm begging. Write us a review, somebody, if you're still listening. And you can go to our Facebook at facebook.com/thewatchandtalk. And that's it. I'm Dylan Shuck.
I'm Justin Moreno.
I'm Christina Vanisize.
And my head is waiting. All right, my peeps.
All right, bye, guys. Oh, wait, Thursday?
Yeah, so Thursday at our regular